I don't know. I'm just irritated with the whole fucking. I don't know. I'm just in like a
Was it
weird
something we
Destiny
said?
mood.
I'll apologize if that'll fix it.
No, it has to do
If
with
I
my
don't mean it, I'll
gameplay.
You
apologize.
apologize now, old man.
Shut
Okay, I'm
up.
sorry that you're the way you are, Louis.
That should be an apology from my mom, but I'll take it.
Crude but effective, he says. Yeah.
I don't know. Just my gameplay is really bad. Dude is
Louis, and then
shitty.
and then in the midst of all that, your mom looks you in the eye and goes, "And then I got high."
No, yeah, she
Oh,
did.
that explains a lot, Mom. Thanks.
Who was singing that
I'll say
song the
this
other
to the
day?
day
That
I die.
redneck
I
shit in
was
the
the first date
ground.
gone horribly wrong.
No, what's that now?
Oh, don't say that, because then so was Justin.
Justin
What?
wasn't a first date.
That's unfortunate. That
God
means you got
damn.
suckered in.
You know, I'll tell you something. All the crazy shit that I've done in my life and the way that all the bullshit went with my first wife, I don't regret not a minute of that time because I don't want to shat. I don't want to fucking shit on the existence of my children because I have great kids.
Exactly.
You
I
know,
get that.
and that bullshit that I went through and that was just the price of those children.
Ugh.
That's the price to pay to have that kid in my life. I
That's
agree.
why I never had it.
Yeah.
But no
Yeah.
price worth that.
No, that's called
Mm-mm.
wisdom, Mary, because we all know that children are God's way of getting even.
That's why I'm not coming back. This is my last rotation. I finally got
Know
wise.
that. No,
I got no more attachments.
What does that mean?
In
yeah.
karmic
I mean,
world,
where
if
are you
you
going
have
with?
no in
How are you going to backpedal out of that, Mary?
well, no, in Buddhism, attachment is the root and source of all suffering, right? You can't release something or some like emotions, something physical,
Constipation.
um, anything, right? So in karmic world, you have blood attachments, you have things that attach you to this earth. Me and my brother, we both believe that we're at the end of our karmic rebirth because we no more have anything that physically attaches us to this earth. We have nothing blood on this earth
Man,
left
that's
that
not.
comes after us.
But that's not all the way
Yeah, but
true.
it's not
Cause
for you
you're
to
a
No, no,
say.
no, no. There's more to it. That's just one part of it.
yeah.
I
I was
know
about to
there's
say
more to
yeah.
it, but
Cause like
I'm
you're in.
only going
Cause
to explain that
You have
part.
your nieces.
I'm
yeah.
only
Cause
going to explain that part because getting into the whole thing would be way too much. I'm just explaining this one tiny little part.
yeah.
There's a lot more to it, but this is one part of it.
Well, I'm
So,
saying I'm
And we,
asking how
no,
do
my
you
me and
how
my nieces, I didn't birth my nieces.
well
But they're
how do
still
you,
your blood.
My sister birthed my
well no
They're
well
nieces.
still
my
your
thing is
blood.
No, they're
you
not. Me and my sister have different dads,
The
and
same
say
mom.
the same
it
mom.
doesn't.
Shares the DNA.
Me and my
yeah,
sister,
Okay.
I did not. No,
Hold
no, no.
on.
You have to understand.
No,
You're
I
not.
don't understand this. That upset me. I'm sorry.
Why did that
Yeah,
upset you?
no,
Because you're talking about you
I
don't have
understand.
any
Yeah,
connections
yeah,
to
yeah.
this earth.
No,
Not
no,
me, not
yeah, I
this one,
understand.
not your
Yeah, yeah,
I
sisters.
I
said
just,
Not
physical in terms of blood. Like there, I
I,
didn't
I'm
produce.
for you,
I'm good with
Louis.
this.
Why are you upset?
Louis,
That
I'm hurting for you
can I explain?
because both you and I've thought more of that.
Yeah, at face value, I understand why Louis upset. Only because I know more about what you're talking about, I wouldn't have gotten upset. I would have questioned: do you and your brother really think this is your last cycle? Because for that, you would have
Not for
to.
just one reason.
Well, no, no. Let me finish. I'm asking because, like, according to Buddhism, right? Like, that's like all physical ties. Like, you have to sever all physical ties. Like, you're in love with Louis, right? Like, you still do have a brother. You are very much so affectionate towards your nieces, and you love Padme, right? Like, you still have physical ties to this plane. So I'm curious to know to wonder, like, why do you and your brother like believe that if you actually believe that?
There's a level of enlightenment that we all are striving to achieve. The pursuit of happiness, whatever you want to call that carrot that's in front of us,
Yeah,
right?
everyone's Nirvana, right?
Right. We whatever that carrot is that we're all going after.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just certain beliefs that I have that are encompassed by an array of ideas that come together, right? Which bring you to enlightenment, which can bring you to your last cycle here, karmic cycle, or whatever you want to call it. And me and my brother have had extensive talks over the years, hours and hours and hours about different religions and different things that we believe and how the cycle and what him and I agree on and what we
So to
believe,
cut you off
right?
real quick, do the chakras have anything to do with your belief system?
The chakras, yes.
Then there's no way that this is your last cycle.
I believe that we all have our bodies are
Like
here to
if you could
experience
say
consciousness.
if you could look at yourself or look at anybody that you love and say that you love them and mean them, it can't be. That's
That's
the
not true.
it is. It
You
is.
can no because there's a duplicity that can occur at the same time. I can love my nieces and know that when I die, that's the last time I will ever know to see them in this face or form on this
But
life.
see, the thing with love comes longing, right? Can you honestly say that you could never see your nieces again?
Yeah, it breaks my heart, but it's true. It's just a fact. Like the way I
Right,
believe certain
the
things are
fact,
when
right,
things are
the
over and
fact that
things
it
are
breaks your heart,
done.
right, but the fact that it breaks your heart is where
Why I'm
you're
still
wrong.
here, but that's what I'm saying. That so it's not my time yet. It
But
doesn't mean
right,
like in 10
and
years from now,
that's what
you
I'm
know what I mean?
saying.
Because
It
I
can't.
look
Go ahead.
you got to look at your growth. You got to look at the growth that you go through in
Hmm.
different parts of your life, right? The first parts of years of my life, I was raised as a Catholic, right? So I was given this belief system about the world. Then I got older and I realized I didn't necessarily believe in all the stuff that I was necessarily taught, right? So I had to go around and fuck around and find out on my own.
Uh-huh.
And through the decades, I've come across many a religions, many a people, cultures, and I've
Well, no,
intertwined
that I
with some good
understand, though, but
ones, with
we're
some bad
hyper
ones.
focusing on the Buddhist aspect of your belief
So,
system.
right. So here I go. Is this is where I'm going from? So there's been growth in my life that's bringing me closer and closer
I'm
and
sure you get
closer
a doctor to remove
to
that.
understanding what enlightenment is, wanting to achieve enlightenment, studying enlightenment, meditating on enlightenment, and really trying to encompass it in my life. Am I close to it right now? And as I sit here and speak, no. But am I closer than I ever was? Yes.
That doesn't mean you're there, though.
I just said that.
Right, but then that completely contradicts your initial statement saying that you and your brother believe that you're in your last cycle. Can't be.
We believe what I do. I believe that on this might be my this is it for me. I
That
don't
makes no
see that
fucking
I'm gonna have
sense.
anything to come back to.
You
No,
have a lot
you
of things
talk
to come back to.
to Mary.
You're like yeah. I hear you, right? But my brain is not understanding what you're saying because you're contradicting yourself in the same
Right.
and yeah, it's not working. But
Then
You're
maybe it's
attempt.
hard. Maybe
In
because
your
it's
attempt
hard
to
to
make your point,
understand
you're killing
how.
your own
I
deal.
understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, and I understand the Buddhist belief system. Because I understand both is why I'm challenging what you're saying and taking it a step further and contradicting what you're saying and saying what you're saying is not true. That you can't possibly genuinely believe that, saying that you know what you know and I know what I know, because you still have attachments. You have a lot of
Right,
attachments.
but don't you realize when you talk to people who are dying, right?
Mm-hmm.
To people who are about to go, lots of times it's been my experience that when they've made peace, they're in a state of enlightenment because they have truly let go of attachment to this world. And that's why when people are who are about to die seem to be very peaceful and whatever, because they've reached a certain level of enlightenment, because they've come to an understanding about reality that us as people who are not facing that possibly can't comprehend. right? And so because I've sat with enough people and I am convinced that when I'm on my deathbed, I'm living a life now with no regrets, without leaving any kind of negative footprint. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to do the basics and all the stuff that I've learned in the teachings of like how and to me it
So that means
works.
that upon your deathbed that you have lived a life where you have wronged no one, right? That meaning that
Oh
when
no no
you
no 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 no
hold
no
on,
no!
wait, hold
I'm
on, let
not
me
saying
finish.
I've
Hold
never
on,
been
no, no, no,
perfect.
let me finish. Because I'm leading into somewhere, right? That means that upon your deathbed, right, with that belief system that you know at your life cycle and that you're ready for the final phase of enlightenment, that you have wronged no one enough to the point where you're not bound by them, right? Like where they're not asking you for eternal forgiveness or something like that, right? Because that's another part of it, also, right?
Okay, yes, you're right, guy. I can say, yeah, I believe that because you want to know
You
why?
believe
Because
you
I
did
have
no
no
wrong to no
control. I
one,
don't have control of other people's attachments to me. If
right?
someone feels like I owe them something,
But that's
it
a thing
doesn't
though.
mean that I'm gonna have to owe them that.
Yeah, if you wrong someone, you have to write that.
Who says that I haven't?
Who
And if I
said?
have, even if it's not good, quote unquote, enough that the other person, like, you ever hear that thing, like, you can make
But that's
amends with
called.
somebody, you can make amends with somebody, right? But they don't necessarily have to receive it. And if they don't receive it, even though you've made it, doesn't mean that you're still on the hook. No,
No,
you've
yes, it
done the
does.
right thing at
No,
this
it
point. No, it
does. That's what
doesn't.
it
'Cause
does.
I can't change
That's why a lot
somebody's
of people.
mind.
That's why a lot of people in a lot of belief systems. That's why a lot of people be stuck in limbo, right? Because of how
Mm-mm.
some people on the other side feel about them. Because, like for example, a relationship between parent and child, right? Let's say the child goes and was living a rebellious lifestyle or whatever. Never got to say their final goodbyes or vice versa. In a lot of belief systems, that's a lot to keep people in the void, in a abyss, in limbo, right? Because that's karmic balance. That's karmic balance in its most basic form. Even if you don't know about it, that doesn't matter, right? There's something that's greater than your internal knowledge. It's eternal, right? And there's a lot of things and a lot of gears that are in motion that keep us coming back according to certain belief systems, right? Like in certain belief systems where they're reincarnated as something else, right? I think it's Buddhism, right? You fucking reincarnated as something else. It is not always a person, right? Um, a lot of that got to do with how people have treated the environment. Right, they didn't know that they were harming the environment, but the environment know that they was harming the environment, and they gotta right that wrong, right? And my question is, even if you actively did right by everybody 100% of the time, the likelihood of that is low because we're human, right? But even if you did, somebody out there somewhere feel like you did some bullshit to them, right?
Then what you're describing, then you can never leave the loop,
But no,
and I don't
but see,
believe that.
but that's the thing. That's what gets you to
Because then
come
that's
back.
what you're saying is then you're what you're saying
What I'm no, what I'm saying is you
is
can't write that.
my eternal resting or my eternal forever is dependent on other people,
No,
and
that's
that's
not.
not
No,
that's I
that's
don't believe
not.
that.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
No,
What I'm saying is,
It is because
no,
look,
Mary, that's how you
if
gotta tell me
my
what
if
I'm saying.
you
That's
don't,
not. Let me finish. That's
because
not what I'm
this is how
saying.
I'm understanding it, guy. This is
Right,
how I'm
and
understanding
right.
it.
So
The way
let
you're
me further.
describing
Right.
it
So let
is
me
if
further
you don't
expand
forgive
because
me,
right, and
but I
what
know
you're
I did
saying that I'm
something,
saying
I
is wrong.
tried
Let
to
me
write
finish.
it.
No, I'm saying
Okay.
in this lifetime, right, in this cycle that you're
Right.
currently in, right.
Right.
There's no possible way that you can know everything, right? There's a divine structure that got all this shit in motion, right? Can we at least agree to
Right.
that? Right.
Sure.
Okay. Right.
Sure.
Now, in this cycle, let's say that you actively lived a righteous life or whatever, right? Somebody somewhere may feel like that you have done some bullshit. That is enough to get you to recycle, right? And go through an entire cycle potentially with no bullshit. right?
That's where I have to say I would
But
have
but
to
you're not your
agree to
own judge,
disagree.
Mary.
I'm not saying that I am.
Right, that's the thing, right? You're not right. You're not your judge, right? There's
I'm not
something
saying that I am my judge.
you kind of are though. You're kind of saying that according to
No,
what
what I'm
you.
saying is I'm only responsible. I can't do anything about anyone else anytime, any way, shape, or form. And if
Mhm.
I'm simply walking down the street and my appearance offends that person by me simply walking down the street, I can't right that wrong.
And
You see
this,
what I'm saying?
right? You
I
can't
can't do
write.
nothing about
Still
that person's
counts.
Right,
attitude.
yeah,
It's
in
not my
this,
problem.
right, in this life, you can't do nothing about that in this life, in this cycle, right? No, you can't write that now, right? But that's why, in what you believe in, that's why you have many life cycles. That's why reincarnation is a
I do
thing.
believe that, but I don't see, this is where I'm just gonna have to disagree with you guys because I've reached a point where I know that I am a good person.
Hmm.
I know that every act and everything that I do, my intentions are 100% pure 100% of the times. I hold no ill will towards people, and I rarely really get frustrated at other people. Most of the time, I'm frustrated with myself
Hmm.
because I know that other people are going through the motions of their everyday life on this planet, and I am a very bit small of a part of that pattern that they live in. And so when I get frustrated, it's not usually because of something that they've done. It's because it's the way I react to in response this circumstance and or situation. So therefore I'm not holding them responsible. See, that's where I'm talking about where I feel like it's that's why I know if I can't hold somebody responsible for the way I'm reacting to a circumstance and a situation that they may be involved in, then I know that they have no tie over me and I have no tie over them. See what I'm saying? I don't hold their karmic fucking thing in my hand because they're just acting out their everyday play and pattern.
Right?
So therefore, it's vice versa. Therefore, they can't have any control over mine. I can wrong somebody, and then I can do something to make that right. And even if it's the grandest gesture, if they turn it down, that's not that doesn't mean my right is not good enough.
That also doesn't mean it is.
It could be no, it could be something that a blessing in that moment to the other person, but they're in such a downgraded state, they can't even see it and or accept it. And that's not something on me. That's something they have to work out. I'm not responsible for making them come to see the light for that. That's not my purpose.
So let me ask you this: are blessings a thing in Buddhism?
Hmm. I don't know.
Yeah, they.
I don't know that
The
the
answer.
word.
I was.
I don't
They.
think so. Because the word in and of itself,
They
eh,
bless things in
there's
Buddhism,
great enlightenment. There's great joy,
like the
and
statues,
great joy could be a blessing.
like the Buddha statues that people often make in different gestures and stuff like that.
Yeah, like
They
when I went to the Temple of
hold on,
10,000 Buddhas.
let me finish, right? They bless these statues, right?
Yes.
And inadvertently, if something can be blessed, something can curse. Also, there's no such thing as a one-sided coin, right?
Sure. Sure.
Right?
If
Right.
you
Like
believe
if
in
you
good, you
believe in
believe in
God, you have
bad.
to
If you
believe in the devil.
exactly, if you believe in good, you believe in bad. If you believe in blessings, you believe in curses. If you believe that somebody else can bless you and you can take that with you, you have to believe that somebody else can curse you.
But what if I
Right?
told you there's no such thing as good and bad? Like in terms of
I'm
um
not talking about
You
good.
never met my first mother-in-law.
I'm not talking about good and bad, right? I'm talking about blessings and curses. I'm talking about yin and yang. I'm talking about balance, right? You can't have this what you're saying is very one-sided, right? It's not acknowledging the unseen, right? It's not acknowledging the other scale, right? Like you're weighing
I
yourself.
can acknowledge it, but I don't have any control over it on this
Yeah, right.
side.
But that's the beauty and horror of Buddhism, right? Like you're not in control. You can only do the best that you can do this time and hope for the best. Right?
Yep.
Even there are lots and lots of stories of people dedicating their entire lives to righteousness, isolation, and meditation and having to do that shit all over again. Right? And some people
Right.
have reached such a state of enlightenment that they come back. It was like, damn, I'm here again. You can't say
But,
you
you
can't
don't know
you
you're
you
there again.
no. Some people have reached a state of enlightenment where they do know that they're here again. That's being so enlightened that they're aware of their whole cosmic presence in and out, through and through, right? But that's so rare. You understand what I'm saying? And even for somebody to share that, that hasn't happened in shit. Okay, like I don't know, but like I hear what you're saying, and we just gonna have to agree to disagree because like from what I know, it's just not true. I can't buy that.
No, I understand it. I get what you're. I know, and I understand what you're saying. I do. I truly do. I guess I feel like we have more. We have. I feel I don't feel like no longer. I used to feel like when I was attached to one idea of like good and bad or right and wrong or holy and unholy and do like I had I suffered more trying to live in those lines than I do knowing
Yeah,
that
because coming up in
I
Catholicism or traditional religion, you live in man-made constructs of morale, right? You're not living in divine constructs of morale. Like I'm Muslim, you understand what I'm saying? So my version of right and wrong is not the American version of right and wrong,
right
right? Like basic shit you don't take from people, especially their lives, like their lives, wives, or property. Like in Islam, that's a big no-no. But speaking on some regular shit, I wouldn't want nobody taking that shit from me. Basically speaking, right? I don't do shit to people that I don't want done to me. Fuck the law. Right? Some of the laws don't make sense. You understand what I'm
right
saying? Like, whatever.
right
So, like, I understand what you're saying, and I live the same way, right? That's why I do what I want when I want, and I have no regret doing it because I know my intent, right? However, right, and I'm gonna switch it from Buddhism to Islam because Islam is a little more basic for me, right? Islam is a little more black and white, right? Like, for example, just because I'm Muslim means I'm gonna go to heaven one day, right? But I will be punished because I did some bullshit, right? That balance is simple. You did some bullshit gonna happen, so you gonna do your time. Ah,
hmm
you know what I mean? It's that simple, right? But in Buddhism, it's not so black and white, right?
it's not
It's a lot of gray area and a lot of silver lining too. A lot of it is out of our control, and that's what people try to strive for, that acceptance, the acceptance that you were never in control of your life the whole time you were living it, right? Like you
but in the same respect though you are because they also teach about consciousness and being very self-aware of who you are and how you're and how much power and energy our person in
right,
every
but your
capacity
life and your
sends out.
destiny are two different things, right? Yeah, like being self-aware, yes, that's one of the highest things, but that has nothing to do with your surroundings and your destiny and your outcome and your cosmic karma and balance, right? You have no
Right, and
control,
and,
you
and
have
if
no
that's the
control
case,
over that.
right, and if right, I have no control over that, so I can't busy my mind with something that I can't control. Just like I can't control somebody in my family that I may not have a relationship with right now for millions of reasons. You know what I mean? It's like I have no control over that. I do what I can do and I leave myself open. But if somebody else doesn't want to walk through that door, then I you can't force people to do things they don't want to do.
No, you can't. But my thing is everything has to be, all the T's got to be crossed, or all the I's got to be dotted for you not to come back no
Yep.
more, right?
Yeah, I
And
know.
and that's on both parts. That's on both sides. That's from self, and that's from outside of you, right? Everything got to be come to a point, right?
Right.
I don't know what the term is in Buddhism, but that's when everything comes to a singularity. There's nowhere else to go. Everybody has come to fucking know what the word for it. Fuck,
Right.
right?
I know what you're talking about. It's in like
Yeah,
it's just
but that's
it's
on
just
but
where
that's
everything becomes one. It's just
yeah,
like
right, but that yeah,
you're all meshed.
right, but that's on both sides though, and that reversed me back to my initial question, like, you know, how do you really believe that, if, especially if you don't know how, like you are only 10% of your entire cosmic presence, right? And you can only control that 10%. That 90% really fucking matters, whether you know it or not, whether you know what's going on or not. Right. And I think that's one of the scariest things about Buddhism is like you could do everything right and still bring your ass right back. Like there are a
Yep.
lot of
And then
Well,
there
live
like
for the
but that's
outside
any
world.
religion. That's any religion.
no, there's no
Guy, that's in
reincarnation
any
in, you
religion.
know, we ain't coming back in
You're
history.
gonna be, and that's the thing. In every belief system, there is, like you said, there is a balance. So, and what that balance looks like may be different in each religion, but there's a balance. And I get it that is really maybe I would say like, oh, maybe I feel like this is my last karmic thing for whatever reasons. There's a lot of things that are saying that it's not, but I'm trying to look at all the reasons why it could be.
There are
You know what I
no,
mean? It's
but
just
that's
a
my
matter of
thing. But that's
perspective.
my thing though. There's no reasons why it could be.
Well, I don't know about that. Me and my brother have done a lot of research into like our life and our numerology and
Like
our codes
I
and
don't know how much research I've done in contrast to you, brother. I know I've done some because I've been bored and I got a little tick of the tism, you know what I'm saying? So I've
yeah,
read
yeah,
and then I fell down some rabbit holes and shit like that. And one of the prerequisites that kept coming up was um the ability to not long for anything and vice versa. Right?
right,
That's a huge thing, and it has something to do with your root chakra. A lot of people are locked
right,
into their root chakra. Like people don't even practice this. Like this takes meditation of going outside. And I laugh at people that say go touch grass because they don't even really realize what they're saying, right? Like there's a lot of meaning to that. Like going outside and really putting your bare feet on grass and getting in tune with your root chakra and shit like that is how you start this. And people have practiced going through the seven chakras, and like I said, still, you know, acknowledge that they came back. Right? Like this wasn't they last go. I don't know how often you meditate and how many chakras you got unlocked, but having your seven chakras unlocked is another prerequisite to making sure that you don't come back. Right?
right,
And wanting anything here, whether it's money, weed, sex, fun, food, whatever, means one of your chakras is blocked, right?
right. Your desire.
Yeah, right. Thank you. Yeah, it means one of your chakras is blocked, and that's a mid chakra. Like when I say mid, like as far as in the body, as far as proximity in the body, that's a mid chakra. You understand what I'm saying? So, like I hear you, but we could talk about this shit all day. It's just
Right. Circular
I wanna
conversation.
I wanna understand why you believe that for real, especially knowing what you know
Right,
about Buddhism.
right. Well, I mean, so anyway, I'm gonna go because I need to go talk to Louis.
Oh shit,
Yeah.
Louis he's still over there.
Yep, he's still mad.
Oh shit, yeah, go handle
He's not
that.
bad. He's hurt.
Yeah,
Different.
All
he
right, I'll talk to you guys later.
all right.
All right. Have a good day. Yep. I don't know.
I don't know about that.
I understand her point, but then she kills her trying to make.
Yeah. So